Good morning, one and all. Myself, Jesh Babu, Department of Computer Science. Today we'll discuss a topic about data encryption standard. Before discussing this topic, let's get some clear idea about encryption. What is encryption? There are three main concepts involved in encryption. One is plain text, next is the key, and third one is the ciphertext. The main process is to convert the plain text into the ciphertext. For converting the plain text into ciphertext, we use some sort of mathematical algorithms. With the help of these algorithms, plus the key, we convert the plain text into the ciphertext. What is the necessity for converting the plain text into the ciphertext? We are living in the world of networking world. The security comes into the main criteria. When you are passing on the information on some sort of internet channel, the main reason comes that the information is secure or not. How come we know that the information is secure or not? To secure the information, we use these algorithms plus key. There are two main keys involved in it. One is the public key and the private key. Public key, the name itself says that it is the public key, means it is known to the everyone. The other key is the private key, specifies that it is the personal key, and it is known that it is not shareable key. With using all these, we convert the plain text into the ciphertext. What is the plain text? Plain text is nothing but the original message. We need to send from, let me consider that I am a sender. At the another end, there is a receiver. I want to send some X information to the receiver. The X information is treated as the plain text. It's nothing but the original message. I need to send to the receiver. If the original message is traveled from the internet channel, there may be intruders or opponents who captures the information. So I convert this original message into the unreadable format message, nothing but ciphertext. With the help of these mathematical algorithms, I convert the original message into the unreadable format. The unreadable format is traveled through the internet channel. If the intruder captures the message, he will be unable to open the message or read the message and know the information. In this today's topic, we will discuss about data encryption standard. See what are the main criteria. The mostly widely used encryption schemes is based on the data encryption standard adopted in 1977 by National Bureau of Standards. Now the National Institute of Standards and Technology or Federal Information Processing Standards, the algorithm itself is referred as the data encryption algorithm, or for DES, data encryption, in 64 bits blocks using 56 bit key. Remember these values. 64 bit blocks using 56 bit key. The algorithm transforms the 64 bit input in a series of steps into a 64 bit output. Means we take 64 bit plain text and convert it into the 64 bit ciphertext with the help of key, which is of the size 56. The algorithm converts 64 bit plain text into 64 bit ciphertext with the help of key, which is of size 56. Okay. The proposed DS was subjected to intense criticism. Why? Because which has not studied to the two areas draws in the critics. There are two main drawbacks. They thought that there would be the drawbacks. Why? Because first, the key length, IBM's original Lucifer algorithm key was 128 bits. Earlier, the key size used to be 128 bits. They thought that if the size of the key is heavy or long, they thought the security would be high. But when it comes to data encryption standard algorithm, they start to use a size 56 bit key. They thought that it would be the smallest key and it may be attacked by the brute force analysis. They thought, see, first the key length of Lucifer's algorithm was 128 bits, but that of the proposed system was only 56 bits. An anonymous reduction of the key size of 72 bit difference. Observe from the Lucifer's algorithm, it is 128 bit key. When it comes to the DS algorithm, the size is 56. There is a huge difference of 72 bits. They thought that this would lead to a heavy damage. Critics feared that the key length was too short to withstand the brute force attacks. They thought that if the key is too small, the attacks would be too high. The second main reason was that the design of the criteria of the internal structure of the DS was they introduced a concept of S boxes. Later on, we'll go about to discuss about these S boxes. First, we get clear understanding about this diagram. Overall scheme of DS algorithm. Clearly observe that the plain text is of size 64 bit. The key of this size of 64 bit. When it comes to the output, it is of 64 bit. The plain text is of size 64 bit. The key is of size 64 bit. The output, it would be definitely it would be 64 bit key. The opponent or the intruder would either think that same sizes were taken. He might think that the plain text would be 64 bit. The key is of 64 bit. Naturally, the encryption algorithm will be taken by these sizes. Remember these sizes. 64, 64. You would think that the output will be again 64. Here comes the algorithm's technique. There are so many manipulations and deletions in this algorithm. Clearly, when you come to clearly observe this diagram, there are so many numbers which were decreasing, increasing, decreasing, increasing. Clearly observe that the plain text is of 64 bit. When it comes to the key, it got decreased to 56. It got decreased to 56. Clearly observe that the key is of size. Originally, the key of the key size is 64. The second step, the key size got decreased. When you clearly observe in the round 1, it is of the size 48. There are 16 rounds. Clearly observe this. There are 16 rounds. It is of 48. When it comes to dawn, it is of 32 bits fam. There are so many. 64, 64. The key got decreased to 56, and the plain text got decreased to 48. And later on, it got 16 rounds. At the last, we found that it is 32 bits fam. What would happen in all these numbers? We will get a clear idea by seeing this. Observe this diagram. Single round. What had happened in the single round of the DS algorithm? You got a clear understanding, I think. In the diagram, we saw that it is of the 64 bit. When it comes before, the size of the key got decreased. 64 bit plain text and the key was 56. Clearly observe this. Here comes the plain text 64-bit got divided into two parts. It is 32-bit left and 32-bit right. Observe that one, I think. 32-bit left and 32-bit right. When it comes to the key, before the round 1, the key size got decreased to 56 and key also got divided into two parts, which is 56 got divided, it comes to 28 and 28. If you clearly observe this diagram, the left portion did not gone to any process, the right portion got several transformations. If you observe in the plain text, 32-bit right side got several operations got implemented on the right side, the left side was left alone. I think you may get the clear idea. Means, in the 64-bit plain text, the left hand side 32-bit doesn't got any operations implemented on that 32-bit. Only operations were held on the only right side of the 32-bit of the plain text. Okay. When it comes to the key got divided into two. Actually, the key size was 64, it was decreased to 56. Now it got divided into two halves, which is 28 and 28. Okay. Actually, come to the next step. See. Actually, when it is compared, there is a representation that expansion or permutation in the plain text. Expansion or permutation. Actually, the size is right hand side is 32 bits. The size got increased to 48. If the size of the plain text is 48, the key should be 48. Right? The key got the left hand side and the right hand side both had permutated and contraction to 48-bit size. Now the key size was 48. Now the plain text goes to expand and increase it to 48. And in the earlier diagram I have seen that there are 16 rounds. Same operation is applied for the 16 rounds on the 32-bit plain text, which was converted into 48-bit. The key is also 48, the plain text is also 48, but the original size of the right hand side was 32. Here we expanded the 32-bit to 48. After all these rounds, we have to decrease the 48-bit size plain text into the 32-bit with the help of Icebox. We convert this 48-bit plain text to 32-bit with the help of Icebox. Here. Later, after all this conversion, the left hand side 32-bit got XORed with the right hand side 32-bit operated plain text with the help of 48-bit key. Let's see how the values are converted. See, it is of 64, it is of 64. Here we applied the inverse permutation. Inverse permutation nothing but changing all the bit values of the 64 bits, placements of the bit 64 bits. Here, consider the expansion. Before expansion, it is of 32. Remove the left hand side and the right hand side values. We get a clear idea that the size is of 32. Here see 1, 2, 3, 4. This block is of 32 size. In this diagram, we applied the expansion process to increase it to the 48. We added both the values. It is of the 48 size. Yeah. If we have implemented the plain text of the size 48, the key of the size 48, the remained plain text is of the 48 size. Actual size of the plain text is 32. You have to decrease the value of the plain text from 48 to 32. Here we use a different technique, that is Xbox. How the values got decreased to 48 to 32. Here we see. We know that the right hand side plain text is the 32. It has converted to 48. The key is of 48. The values got entered into the X boxes. There are 8 different Xboxes: S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, S7, S8. See that the input values for each Xbox there is an input of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For every Xbox there is an input of 6. 6 multiplied by 8, the input is 48. The value should be converted from 48 to 32. The input value is 6. The output value of the Xboxes is 4. Now count the values from S1 to S2. The output values are, for S1 is 4, S2 is 4, S3 is 4, S5 is 4, S6, S7 is 4 values. Input is 6. It is a 48 bit. The output is of 4 for each Xbox. The total output is of 32. How we decrease the plain text value of 48 to 32 is with the help of SBox. Taking an input of the 48 bit key and output is of 32. Input is 48 bit key plain text and key is of 48 bit. The value is converted to 32 with the help of SBoxes. We'll see how the key value got decreased. Earlier, the first session, the actual value of the key is 64. We decreased the value of the 64 to 56. In this step, we decreased the value of 56-bit key and made it into two equal portions. So the value is 28 and 28. Later, after converting into two portions, the two values got merged and the value got reached to 48. Why? Because the plain text size is of 48, the key value should be of 48. It had been undergone the process of 16 rounds. The bit values got changed and the plain text converted into the ciphertext. If an intruder cannot observe all this process which was happened in the middle, he might blindly think that it is the plain text is of 64 bit, the key is of 64 bit. All the operations were applied only on the 64 bit key. Actually, the process was going on, the values got decreased, the values got increased, is to mislead the intruder. The main reason for this algorithm is to mislead the intruder and overcome the traffic analysis from the cyber attacks. I hope all you understand. Thank you.